Hi, my name is Kristen and I'm your host for Icons of Naples, this series where we honor our Naples community heroes, our movers, shakers, and history makers who helped make our community the place we love to call home. So we are back for part 2 with Clyde Butcher, our conservationist of the Everglades and all the stories that go with it, and Big Cypress. So thank you so much for staying and doing a part 2 with us. There's just so much history.
Well, there's so much to say about it. You could have 3, 4, 5, and 6.
We may have to do a series. Now, you were talking about how when we left off, how people, when they came to the tours, they might have been afraid of the Everglades, and then they couldn't wait to leave. So would you say that was one of the biggest misgivings about the swamp, so to speak?
I think that, I had the same impression when I came out from California.
Okay.
I didn't want to get out in that water. The snakes and gators, these are prehistoric animals. I mean, the gators are millions of years old. I mean, these are dinosaurs.
Yes.
And, I was, till I met Oscar. Now, one thing.
Well, tell us who Oscar is.
Okay. Oscar is a 4th or 5th generation Floridian. Mm-hmm. His grandfather put the telegraph into Florida.
Okay.
And his grandmother received the message the Maine was sunk. So his history goes well back. And so when he was in high school and afterwards, he was a gator poacher.
Oh, okay.
So I figured he'd take care of those guys if I had a problem.
Yes.
I felt comfortable. But on the other hand, he also showed me, okay, now, the first you go in, now that's where a lot of the animals feed, because there's frogs and coons, and you know how coons go in the water.
The shallow part, they're easier. Yeah, it's
so
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, you just be really careful the first few steps. And I didn't realize it was it's a reef. I didn't realize it's not quicksand. It's basically rock.
Yeah.
I have pictures of Cypress when it was dry, dry season. It's just a bunch of rocks. I mean, it was whole different.
You almost would think it's like a silt kind of thing when you first get in it.
When you get into another thing that fooled me when I came out here. We were going down Alligator Alley, and you see this forest of trees going like this, big hump of trees. And I said, oh, there's where the land is. No, that's where it's deep. And because it's been acided out, but that's where you get some muck in, because all the droppings, and the water is really not flowing that much there. When it's shallow, and when it's raining, the grass is like that. It's cooking.
Yeah.
So there's probably in most areas that much grass and silts. Cypress needles and such.
But then it's not. It's walkable.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to think that too until I went on the trip I told you about, and we got in the water. My relatives up north were like, "You got in the what? The Everglades water with the alligators?"
Everybody up north has me out west. Out west. No, you wouldn't do that. I've been out in Back Bay of San Francisco. Boy, that's gooey stuff. That's a marsh. Now, the problem is we call Big Cypress a swamp. It's not. It's actually a river of grass.
Yeah, when you look at it, it is.
It's not a swamp. Swamp is something that's stagnant.
Back to the water sheeting. Mm-hmm. It's moving through there.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess that would make it a river.
So the connotation of swamp is the first thing that gets you.
Yeah, it has
connotation.
It's kind of scary in your brain. Mm-hmm. And the movies make it scary too.
Monster from the remember that movie? I don't know that movie.
Yeah.
But so I think that people's apprehension is it is a dangerous, scary place, and in reality, okay, Oscar and Jeff and who else was sitting. Anyhow, we're sitting around talking about different places you could go in the woods and different around the country, discussing all the different things, and we decided that Big Cypress is probably the safest place in any environmental in the country.
Okay.
I almost got killed by elk in off the North Rim of Grand Canyon. Came close with a buffalo.
Oh, so the four-legged above ground on land creatures are not
They're a lot faster.
Yeah. Okay.
They can go for a long ways. This elk almost got me. It was good 200 or 300 yards away. He started charging me. I mean, it was like 2 football fields away from me.
And it's like, I see you.
Well, it was rutting season.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I'm in the large format camera. I have a bag so I can see. So I'm under the camera focusing. So I got the tripod legs and then my legs with this big black thing. I said, what kind of animal is that? He's saying to himself, I guess.
You didn't know if you were a foe or...
Then when I came out and stood up with my regular body, he said, oh, that's a person.
Oh, my goodness.
So...
The joys of nature photography, it sounds like.
Well, like I say, I've never had any problems like that in Florida.
Really?
Well, I did have a problem with a cow.
Oh, another four-legged friend.
Yeah. She had her horns all around my camera. What do you do with a 2,000-pound cow?
I think they won.
You just sit there and you said, hope it goes away.
Oh, my goodness. So when you look at your subject, when you're out there in the Everglades in Big Cypress, which is the river of grass, you know,
Right.
When you look at something like, what makes you decide to take that photo? When you say it captures you, or do you not see it until it develops?
Oh, no, I don't take it unless I know. I feel it. I feel it, not seeing it. If you can't feel it, you can't see it.
Okay.
If it makes any sense.
I have that with clouds. I take random pictures of clouds.
The clouds of Florida, incomprehensible. But anyhow, I've had. It's hard to describe what I do because I've had people with me about photographing, and I'll take a picture, and then maybe a month or two later, I develop it, make a print. I say, "Oh, you were out with me. I took that." No, I wasn't.
Oh, they don't see
They'll
the same thing.
swear that they were not there.
They don't see the same thing you see.
No.
Well, that's quite an eye because your works are incredible.
Well, they're feelings, though. See, they're looking for a particular tree or this thing here or that thing there. I'm creating a feeling.
In the photograph.
A womb. A space. A room. Actually, you know.
Well, because it's art, people, when they look at art on a wall, they're drawn to things that they have a feeling about. So that, to me, that makes sense because it took me a while to understand what art was as I grew up. And I have friends that I told you about that are very into art. And so when you say it's a feeling, I may not feel it when I look at it, that one piece that you did, but somebody will because you feel it, somebody else will feel it. So you're generating the feeling in other people.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
It's really, because for one thing, people don't understand how they see.
Yes.
A lot of people think they see this big space, like I can scan, I can see from here to over there, but only thing I can see the detail is about 4 degrees. If you want to see that, you got to scan over there. You got to scan over here. So when I make my pictures large, you can't see them. You have to experience them.
That was my next question. That's wild. That was my next question about your oversized prints.
Yep.
You say they help people see order in the chaos. Explain that.
Okay. Now, one thing you have to understand, nature if it's going to be in biological order, it has to be in chaos.
Okay.
If you see something that's not in chaos, man's probably been messing around. Because
Yes.
nature tends to develop itself over the years, takes things to work with other things. It's a connecting thing. It's so. But then you have to say, okay, you've got this chaos. How am I going to show it to a person so they can feel it? And photographers come out to the Everglades and they say, I can't photograph this.
They don't feel it.
Well, that's the problem. They haven't been in it and
They're just coming
experienced
to take a picture, to capture something,
Right.
and they're not in the environment to capture it.
Like I go out west to Yellowstone or Yosemite, there's Half Dome. Well, everybody photographs. Oh, that's a typical picture. Mm-hmm. You go up to the East Coast, there's these nice wooden covered bridges. Mm-hmm. They've actually have spots marked for the photographers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes you wonder if we took it from over here, how would it look different?
Yeah. So people come into the gallery, particularly photographers, and they say, well, where do you go? Oh, my parking lot. You go, what? No, where do you go to photograph? The parking lot, anywhere you want.
Yeah.
There is no grand space. I have 3 pictures of my parking lot that sell really good.
That's amazing. So do you feel like the bigger prints also, well, you say they invoke a feeling, like is it, they're all black and white? Mm-hmm. They're all black and white because your first medium was color.
Right. And when I did the color was because of sales.
Right.
I did the black and white because I felt that Florida has too much color. And conflicting color in the same picture.
I could see that.
And so what are you going to see? The yellow, the green, the water, the blue? What are you going to, where's your brain going? With black and white, it's one.
So it's elemental.
You can see everything.
Yeah.
And I call it, it's a oneness with nature. And nature is one because it all works together, so it's all one. It doesn't care what the colors of everybody is. I don't think they can see color. Trees, I'm not sure they can or not. But they just know that I like that plant. Well, that one I don't like. I'll get rid of him. Because nature does that. It'll say oak trees. You go to oak trees, hardly anything will grow in an oak tree. It'll kill it.
It doesn't want friends and family hanging out.
No. For something like they don't mind palm trees for some reason.
Yeah, we have oaks and palms that live together.
Yeah.
Here.
But that's about the only thing. It was just like grass.
True. I had a couple of oak trees. I don't know why. They don't like hurricanes either. Hardwoods. But
Cypress trees do.
yes, they do. They sure do.
I've been through our gallery there. We've been through 4 major hurricanes coming through the gallery.
Yeah, because you're in the center. So even if it doesn't come
all
here.
all those trees were like in a womb, and those trees bend.
Oh.
I mean, they don't. They oak trees don't like to bend.
No.
We had. Well, Andrew came through there. We lost a few of the non-native trees. Most all the non-natives was when Andrew had gone. But that was at Wilma. Wilma was 165 miles an hour. Actually recorded it at the visitor station half a mile away at 165 miles an hour.
Did you stay?
Well, we didn't happen to be there.
Oh, okay.
But we had one tree fall.
Well, that's great.
The last hurricane we had, what was the last one?
The last one was Ian, and the one before that was Irma. That was the wind event.
And Ian, the whole family decided to go down to Big Cypress in the swamp and ride the hurricane.
Milton.
Huh?
Was it?
Milton.
And Milton.
Milton.
This is last year.
Oh, I'm thinking about Milton. I forgot about Hilton.
Milton.
Milton and Helene were the very last two.
Yeah, Milton. So we had Jackie and husband and our two grandkids and their spouses. We had a couple retired people, Jackie's friends. How many people we have down there, hon? 15 people. We had 2 motorhomes, and we have several. So anyhow, we had just no problem at all. Hurricane went right over us. Nothing happened.
I think, well, it's obviously a place that is in nature, so it works with nature when it has to.
I wouldn't be that. It was pine trees or oak trees.
Yeah. Well, Irma was a big wind event for us. It was right up there, I think, with maybe Andrew, had we not had the newer construction. And the amount of even trees that have been here for years, like what are the ones that grow and they creep along? They're not, I want to say mangroves, but that's not it. They had them all along Creighton Road and places.
Walking palm?
I can't remember, but the branches grow and they sprout down.
Palmetto? Saw palmetto?
Maybe that was it. That was it. And, they've been here for years, but that wind did a number on them. Yeah. I mean, and some people tried to trim them, and you can still see there's some of them struggling to come back. But yeah, the hurricanes do a number on hardwood trees for sure.
Oh yeah, I was really afraid for Venice. Well, Venice Avenue has these great oak trees. I mean, I don't think we lost some trimmed them a little bit, but they stayed.
So you still have your gallery?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll be there for hopefully many years.
Many years.
We may have to rebuild it.
Generational.
Well, because it's all wood.
Yeah.
So it may have to be rebuilt someday.
Now, it is in the preserve, or it's in the protected part of the preserve, or how does that work?
It's in the preserve, Big Cypress National Preserve. We have 13 acres, so it's legal. And it's like I say, the preserve, when they established Big Cypress Preserve, they wanted to leave the hunters were able to keep hunting there. They're supposed to stay on the same trails. Fishermen, environmentalists, all work together. If you had a hunting camp, a lot of people bought property out there.
Right.
3 acres. Some people didn't buy it, but they built a house. Those were torn down. The people that owned 3 acres and they had a house there in 1974, they could keep the house and rebuild the house.
Oh, that's nice.
But that's a preserve. It's like the Indians on the other side. It's a park, a national park, which is different rules than preserve. Well, actually, every national park has different rules.
Well, every state is different, so that kind of makes sense.
Well,
they have to have their own.
Normally, when you do a park, it's pretty invasive to the people. I mean, they want to try to save. That's why they have a park. So, like Rocky Mountain National Park, if you had a house there when it was established, you can maintain it. You can't change it, but you can maintain it. Mm-hmm. Here, you can actually change it.
Okay. Well, it's nice for generations. I mean, looking because we're working on history with the Icons series.
Hopefully, Big Cypress will be that facility to be able to keep showing people from Naples and Miami and Germany and all over the world what Big Cypress is.
I think it's definitely part of our. If it can be generational, it can become part of our history forever.
Oh, I think
for generations, and I think we need that. I think that's something we forgot about for a while there. We had growing pains in the 70s, like you said. We just built anywhere and anyhow, and then we've learned, sustainable.
Andrew took care of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying about Ian and even Irma. Irma was a big wind event here, and it wasn't a water event. It was supposed to be, but I watched that fall apart, and I'm very grateful that it did as it passed over the Keys and up, up 41. Mm-hmm. But when you look at Irma and you look at Andrew,
Different story.
whole different story, pretty similar wind event.
We started new building codes.
The new building codes, what gets me, again, I probably have developers out there who are going to hate me someday. When I built my house in 2000, it was built in 2000, but we went ahead and did, because we didn't know when we would be done, because it was one of those big houses, and we didn't know when it would be done. And so we said, we better go with the code that's going to be CO if we take too long, which was the first Andrew ones. And I started to think about that. I'm like, that would be 2001. How, I'm sorry, what took so long?
People don't like change.
They don't like change.
No, they do not like change.
The expense involved is more,
Yeah, in the
build.
short term.
but not in the long term. I was all about those building codes after I saw what happened to Andrew. And I just thought it was very interesting that it took so long. But now the new codes, when they come up, when there's something they see they need to change, they're a lot faster.
Well, the way I built the house and the gallery in Big Cypress, I went with the coastal codes.
Oh, that was smart. Yeah.
So, I mean, we have more steel in those wood structure. The carpenter said if it blows off the foundation, it'll roll.
That's sturdy, for
Yes.
sure. So tell me, I've read some things about what role did you have in, it says, what role have Naples institutions like Rookery Bay, Botanical Gardens have in any of your missions? Like what do you think they've,
Well, with all
have they
these
helped?
all these things that we've done here in Collier County helps educate me more about the environment. And I think they're really educational pieces that explains the nature of the environment and sometimes in building codes. Mm-hmm. The botanical garden is fantastic. They're studying water, how it works. I mean, doing all kinds of research. Rookery Bay takes people out and explains that this Rookery Bay is saving the people in Collier County places to fish.
Okay.
For entertainment and also for the environment. Mangroves are the best producing tree for oxygen.
I did not know that.
In the world, yeah.
We need more mangroves.
Well, yeah, and they really are a protective vehicle. They just grow and grow. And
They are interesting to watch. And again, being in Pelican Bay, watching the Mangrove Action Committee. I mean, when I first moved in there, I was, 28, and I was like, mangroves, what are we talking about here? But then when they get sick, it's very noticeable.
They got to have fresh water.
And that's something that when they did some stuff in Vanderbilt, it changed the way the water got to the mangroves. And there was I remember seeing the pictures and the people, they had meeting after meeting after meeting because that was starting a die-off because they weren't getting the fresh water coming from north to south.
Yeah, people don't understand. They're in salt water. Why do you need more fresh water for?
It's like a brackish water.
Yeah, correct.
It's not true salt water.
Correct.
It comes from both directions and kind of meets and says hi.
And that's where life starts.
Yeah.
That's the ocean life really starts with the mangroves.
Yeah. I don't know. I know when they did that, and then there's other places along the way in real estate now when they have them on the backs of houses and stuff that have never been torn out in some of these developments that have been there a while, but somebody never put a dock in, or they just had like a little fishing dock. It's a thing now. And I'm like, you sure you really don't want to touch as little of that as you can.
Legally,
and I explain it to them.
You're not supposed to either.
Right. They try to like build over it, around it. And I'm like, you don't understand what that's actually doing for you. And when I explain it, they're like, oh, I just thought it was a tree.
It
and
is
I'm
a tree.
They're not from here. And I didn't know when I was younger, but I learned. So we try to educate people as we go along. At least I do in my real estate.
Right.
So earlier I just remembered we had touched on that you have given presidents tours.
Oh, I tell you, that was. I've been with a lot of interesting politicians, but Jimmy Carter was. It was his 80th birthday year. He went first. We brought his family when he was still alive. every year between Christmas and New Year's, he took his whole family to do something. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's like 20 some people.
Oh, wow. Little party.
Yeah. It's a family gathering.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess he's heard of me. So he always wanted to see what I wanted to do, so he decided to go. Big Cypress was one of his stops for this area. And okay, first of all, I showed him around the gallery. And he was impressed, and I was saying, I'm using an 8x10 camera. And like this one here is a 6-minute exposure. 6 minutes? He just got a new digital camera.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. He says, isn't that a lot of work? I said, yeah. Becoming president, was that a lot of work?
Oh, good point.
A lot more work than I do.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. But so he cracked up laughing. Then we went to the back. We gave a little, we had the park people there, and they gave a little talk about Big Cypress, and I gave them a talk. And I was trying to convince them to we give everybody a walking stick, because you really need 3 legs, because there's a lot of cypress knees or things, you can trip very, so it's good to have a stick. And also, if you have a water moccasin or a gator, it's in the way, you take the stick and you just move them out of the way.
Okay.
They don't. You can take a water moccasin, you can just move them out, So I said, if you have a gun, if you miss, you might kill somebody. And I was looking at the Rangers when I said that. And but they still took their guns. We had a lot of guns out there. I can just see somebody trying to shoot a gator in the head, and bullet bounces off and kills Carter or something.
Oh, gosh.
Anyhow, but he had a ball. He said, he came back, he said, this is the most fun he's had in years. I think probably since I was 10 years old.
Wow. That must bring you a lot of joy when people come back and give you their feedback.
It makes me happy when people come out smiling.
Oh, yeah.
And they come out of a gallery, they're usually smiling.
Okay.
A lot of galleries you go to, museums, and going, wonder what that was.
I liked that thing on the 3rd floor.
Whatever it was.
But I don't remember what it was. Yeah. So many people have a favorite print of yours, a favorite Clyde Butcher image. Is there a image that stands out to you that either when it was taken or just is dear to your heart? Or has a personal story?
Of them.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, most of my really good ones were experiences.
Okay.
More than just because I'm with Nikki, we're having a good time together.
So there's a story behind it.
Oh yeah, most of them, like the dune shot. We were there from sunrise to sunset for 5 days, and took one image. Took a backup, but took one image in 5 days.
Wow.
It just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Then I have a shot. I took a stero. We were there 24 different times.
Wow.
Because technically it was a technical thing, but I needed a cloud. This is really sad. It was backlit. I needed a cloud behind me that was low, so the sun can bounce off the cloud and light it. I mean, I wasn't particular, was I?
No. You were just looking for the perfect shot. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then there's loose screw. Scarwicked Pond. Scarwicked Pond. Nikki, when I was still physically able to walk, every New Year's we took a swamp walk, usually with the family or with people at the gallery. So January 1st, 2000, I found this really neat spot, but nothing was right. I liked the spot, but the plants weren't right, the resurrections weren't right, the water wasn't right, the wind, nothing was right. But I liked it. I liked the composition. So I went back and forth every year for 9 years It's about an hour walk in swamp to get there behind the gallery, maybe an hour and a half. So it usually took a whole day. But, so I got it in the 9th year, 2009, finally got the shot.
Wow.
So there's moonrise. Moonrise, when Ted was killed and we were, Nick and I were recovering from that loss. It was one of, actually, I think it was the first, it wasn't the first shot, but it was the first shot of Big Cypress when I was getting a different attitude. Mm-hmm. Before I was making sure I got shots that would sell. Mm. And after when Ted was killed, I just decided I would take work that make pictures that felt good and didn't matter they were sellable or not.
Yeah.
And this was we're out in Big Cypress, and I had a ladder, and my 8x10 camera set up, and I just got the camera. I just went to 8x10, but unfortunately I had a used lens, and and I pulled the dark slide out, take the exposure, and the shutter wouldn't work.
Oh, no.
That's what I said. Oh, I didn't say that.
No, you had probably...
I had more,
a few more words.
More interesting words. And I actually had a couple egrets took off. I didn't even know they were there. They were so scared. So actually because with a large format camera, you can take the lens apart, and you can take your finger and open up the shutter, physically open it up, and then put it back on the camera, and then I use the dark slide in front of it. So you would take the dark slide, expose the film, and then you get ready to take a picture. You would go like this: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. So that was exposed. That's what was exposed. You can't. It's really interesting. With the moon, you can't usually take more than 4 seconds because it'll move too much.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's about the limit. It's 4 seconds.
So, but you get your shot.
Mm-hmm. So that was really that was one of my first shots when Ted was killed. Then I got this choppy shot with the cattail picture.
You have some very, very well-known historic, but to hear the stories behind them.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really where the meat and potatoes of the picture is.
I've got pictures of islands that aren't even there anymore.
Oh. Where would those be?
10,000 Islands.
Okay.
This place, it was off of... oh, God. Anyhow, there was 2 keys, 2 islands. And when we go boating down south at 10,000, we come back and spend the night. There's a place to anchor there. Mm-hmm. So this one time we were coming back, I went there and I kept looking, where's my island? It was 5 feet of water where the island was.
Wow.
I said, oh, God, now I can't anchor. I had to find a different anchorage.
Have to adjust.
But it's called Dog Key.
Okay.
Yeah.
For our 10,000 Islands people, you probably know where he's talking about. For others, you can look it up online.
You have to have been there in the 80s or 90s before you know it.
Growing up here, I knew a lot of people that would go out there and fish. Mm-hmm. They would go out Port of the Isles. They would find places. And I would say, what? Where are you going? And then when I went out there, I say the first time I was out there was probably late 80s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was probably in my early 20s, so late 80s, early 90s. And I'd go out there with friends, and they'd say, we're going fishing. And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing it. There wasn't anything to do in Naples back then. So if somebody said they were going fishing and it was a Saturday and you were bored, you usually went.
Yeah.
Just because. And I got to see some of what they were talking about. And sometimes it was on this side of the bridge. Sometimes it was on that side of the aisles. Sometimes it was way back over there. That was probably my first experience with alligators too, because one time we were in this little small boat on the one side of the Port Isles area, and we're like, oh, we're going to put it over here. And there was a lot of the leaves on the top and things. And I'm like, but there's alligators over there.
Well, that's not a safe place either.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I would prefer being on the boat on the other side.
Well, no, I'm saying is that when it's a public area like that, gators get used to things. You're out in the wilderness,
They're not used.
They're not
That's
used to it,
true.
you know.
Yeah, there is a thing about don't feed the gators.
Right.
People don't understand that first come here. And I also equate that to don't feed the birds when you're at a restaurant because they just bother you more.
Yeah.
Because they don't know any better. You've trained them to do something not normal.
And they'll probably die of malnutrition.
Things that, yeah, exactly. So I did not know this until I did my research, but you did 6 public broadcasting programs on the environment. Mm-hmm. And 3 of them were documentaries, award-winning documentaries. How did you like changing mediums into the documentary versus
Well,
being behind the
I
line?
didn't change mediums.
Okay.
Because Elam Stoltzfus he put it together.
Oh, he put it together.
I was there to introduce it and work with it, and also take my pictures and then put in the documentary along with it.
Okay.
So I was not the producer or the film person.
So how do you feel about the documentary process, and like, did you like it? Did it change?
I think it's really important because like the one's called the Western Everglades, the Big Cypress, called the Western Everglades, the Big Cypress Swamp.
Yes.
It's a history program too. I mean, it'll give people about the airport. It starts to. I mean, it's really. Gives you a feeling of what it's all about. I mean, about the animals, about the destruction and the fixing and the beauty. Their Apalachicola was really fun because they have a parade up there, and the queen of the parade is a catfish parade.
Okay.
These catfish up there like 50 pounds.
Oh my word. That's ginormous.
And the queen has to kiss the winning catfish caught.
Okay.
That was fun.
I've done pageants, not that one.
Then we went to another one of the rangers there. Actually, had did honey.
Okay.
And he developed a little boardwalk in the tupelo trees. The only way you can get there is by water.
Okay.
So he would take with pontoon boat, take the beehives in. They Tupelo happens in about 3 weeks. It's a 3-week period. And this particular Tupelo, that's all there is Tupelo. So honeybees have got no choice of anything but Tupelo. So it's pure Tupelo honey.
See, I did not know that about Tupelo honey because we see it. I see it at the fairs and stuff that I go to.
But you don't know if it's him, though.
No, it might not be him, but
they sell it at Piggly Wiggly up in, what's the town that Elam's from? It's up in the Panhandle.
Okay.
And Piggly Wiggly is owned by the chief of the creek.
No.
Yeah.
How do we not know this?
Do you know what creek means?
What?
Creek.
Oh, the Indians.
Yeah, the Indians.
Yeah, Indian
creeks,
creek.
But
Yeah.
it means creek. Creek.
Well, here we go.
And that's silly. I asked him, what's it mean? He says, what do you think it means? It's creek. Well,
But there's a root to it, as there is most of our language.
Yeah,
We just
yeah.
don't think about where the words come from.
Yeah, but anyhow, he was a fun guy. He was pretty intelligent. But where his Piggly Wiggly is, no, it's where his home is where their main encampment used to be. Mm-hmm. And they were chased out, you know. And this is the White Clan. There's different clans. The White Clan is when everybody is honest, pure, don't do bad stuff. If you do bad stuff, you're kicked out, and you have to do so many years to get back into the clan. Anyhow, so he's brought this thing back to the area. Apalachicola is an interesting area. It's
full of a lot of history people don't realize, I think.
Well, there's only two really areas in Florida that are pretty natural, environmentally safe. That's Apalachicola and Big Cypress. Those are really the only two really ecologically sound areas.
Right.
There's a lot of other pretty areas. I mean, the springs in Middle Florida, but Big Cypress is one of the unique. Well, actually, it's unique in the world, and it's completely different in some respects than Everglades National Park. It's a higher elevation, and we don't have any. Only thing we get of water is from rain. Okay, Everglades National Park gets water from Okeechobee, Orlando.
The sheeting I talked about earlier, what I would see. Okay.
But so we have north of us, we have what's called OK Slough.
Okay.
And it's a boundary between Big Cypress and Caloosahatchee River. So all we get is rain. That's why it's so pure.
That's interesting. I didn't, most people don't know that there's a difference between the two.
Oh, yeah. We're at the lowest point, we're at least a foot higher.
But when you drive past it in a car, it kind of looks same, but not.
Right.
Because one is more flat and marshy. Like the Everglades
we have more trees.
Yeah, the Everglades to me is more just seagrassy looking, at least from the road.
Yeah.
And even when you get in it,
yeah.
it's being around in the airboat.
Like where you're going there where the Indians' place was, that's more grass.
Yeah, it's all grass. I don't know how they find their way out there.
Well, they do it for many times.
So what would, because I know I'm taking up a lot of your time with part 2 here, but I'm so glad you were able to stay. If you had to ask residents of Naples, okay, what they could learn about the Everglades and be conscious of going forward, what would you want to leave them with?
Well, like we've talked many times before, it's a special place in the world. They don't realize this is the only place in the world like this.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah. It's one of a kind.
And it's beautiful. It's safe. But it's better to go out a few times with somebody who knows what they're doing. Mm. And I suggest, even if you know what you're doing, you should have 2 people at all times. It's not because of the snakes or the gators, but if you trip and break an ankle, you can be up the creek. Because sometimes if you're back there 5-6 miles, it'd be a heck of a walk trying to get out if your ankle's broke.
That's true.
So at least
the buddy system.
Yeah. So that, but like, okay, Big Cypress, Lisa, she's the park ranger. She teaches all the 6th graders in Collier County in a classroom about Big Cypress. Then she takes the classroom out and gives them a swamp walk and educates them about how to find the panthers, basically ecological thing. So it's not governmentally. The only government support I think is Lisa's salary. Wow. So we, as a group here in Naples, have created what's called Big Cypress Friends of Big Cypress Preserve.
Okay.
So it's officially affiliated with the park.
Okay.
And this was the first year. November 1st, I think it is, we're going to have a swamp walk to raise money for her and the kids at the Big Cypress Gallery.
Oh, what a great idea.
Well, we've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
We're just doing it and giving her money.
Yeah.
But this is actually, I think, more of a, we're trying to connect it more with the park officially so that it'll continue onward, hopefully. So that would be, I think, and the thing is, but when you have a lot of people, for one thing, the animals don't like it. So usually they'll be, if there's any gators or snakes, they'll be all dispersed by a couple of first people.
That go through, yeah.
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 So it goes around. We start at one side of the property. We go out through the was called the prairie, which has the smaller trees. They're what do they call them? Anyhow, when you go along the road, you see all these small cypress trees.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see the big forest, the big hump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The small ones are the oldest ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're all rock. They're like Japanese bonsai.
Okay.
They could be 18 feet high and 300 years old.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
There was not much use for them. Well, actually, the one use they did have for them, making fences. That's about the only use they had for them. But there wasn't a big calling for it.
Right.
So they stayed. Now, on our property, we have a few of the big, pretty big cypress. When they forested all the cypress trees, they would leave a big one here and there so they could. What they used to do is they would cut a tree down, then have a block and tackle on one big tree so they could pull it in. So they would leave what's called the pulling trees.
Okay. Yeah.
So for the next generation that came in.
Oh, more history.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this
Well,
today.
it has. Unfortunately, it's a very young history.
Well, Florida is young.
Well, yeah.
You know, people don't realize when they come here that we're so much younger than New England is. People were here, but as far as us settling here,
There weren't many people out where I'm living. The Indians were out there.
that was it.
Yeah, that's about it. When the Civil War, the Army came down here. This is a God-forsaken place. Nobody should ever be here.
Yeah.
And that's the reputation it has. This is a God-forsaken place.
I don't look at it that way, but I know
No,
other
that's the
people.
general. If you talk to somebody up in New York,
Yeah, they don't understand what the Everglades is.
right,
Yeah.
you're gonna go out and walk
Or-
with those snakes and gators.
Yeah. Oh, I get that. I get that from family.
Yeah,
I get that. And I get that too because people look at me and they're like, you have a Jeep or you went out in an airboat? And I'm like, yeah, it's part of Florida. I want to see where I live.
yeah.
You know, I don't care. I don't think it cares what you have or where you come from. It's appreciating where you live and what's around you.
Right,
At least for me.
right.
That's where I come from.
That's what Big Cypress Gallery is for.
So we're going to all have to remember to come visit Big Cypress Gallery. Is there anything you want to add before we close? Because I want to make sure that we've got all that you want to leave us with.
Well, we've got Corkscrew here. We've got Collier State Park. We got Fakahatchee State Park. We got the Botanical Gardens. What am I missing? Big Cypress.
Yeah, and Big Cypress.
I mean, there's lots of educational, beautiful places to go. And Fakahatchee has a brand new boardwalk
Oh, that'll be nice.
on 41. It's not too far from off of. I guess it's just west of Port of the Isles.
Okay.
So, and then of course there's Everglades City, which is
Right.
kind of a hoot.
Oh, yeah. You have to go out there. If you've never been, you have to be out to go out there. So, well, thank you so much for leaving us with the educational resources we can check into, as well as coming out to your gallery. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Okay.
It has been a complete joy, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Did I say Rookery Bay?
Yes.
Rookery Bay?
I think you did, yeah. But let's not forget Rookery Bay.
They've got a really nice educational center there.
I love that all these places have created these educational spaces for people to come in, walk around, and learn a little bit about where we live.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So I'm glad we covered those. So go out, get your education on what it means for our conservation, but also where we live in Naples, Florida, and all the amazing things around us. Thank you again, Clyde, for being here today. I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
And I think it's also for your health.
And your health. That's right. Because without it, where are we? Thanks for joining us. Special thank you to Gulf Shore Playhouse for allowing us to use their beautiful space today here in the Founders Lounge. And a special thank you to Robert of Philadelphia for continuing to be our series sponsor. You can find all the episodes of Icons of Naples on your favorite podcast platform as well as YouTube. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you again on the next episode of Icons of Naples.